Hello, this is Kevin Benedict, independent mobile and M2M analyst. I want to thank you for joining us today for this podcast. I have with me as guest Paul Andrews from K2 Partnering. Welcome, Paul.
Hi, Kevin. Good to be with you.
So, Paul, why don't you share with our listeners today what's your role and responsibility, your title, and a little bit about K2 Partnering before we jump into our discussion on enterprise mobility.
Yes, certainly. K2 Partnering is one of the largest providers of ERP and enterprise software consultants around the world. So since 1997, we have been providing some of the world's best talent to support our customers' projects. And that's everything from rolling out ERP systems to adding functionality. Our clients tend to be large corporations with very complex, fast-moving businesses. And today we support our customers from 10 offices around the world, Europe, the U.S., Latin America, and Asia. So I'm,
very good.
I'm one of the managing partners of the company. And my primary role these days is helping us identify emerging trends, emerging markets where our customers are looking for support and building partnerships with companies that can help them get things done.
So I imagine you're hearing a bit about enterprise mobility these days from your clients then.
We are. It's certainly a topic that picked up the pace over the last couple of years. And today it's very, very rare actually to not hear it mentioned as one of the top three initiatives or top three topics for discussion amongst the C-suite in any of our customers.
You know, I've done a lot of these different interviews with mobility experts, but I haven't, as of yet, talked with a company that's involved in consulting and systems integration work. So I'm very excited to have this opportunity for you and I to spend time here today and discuss what you're seeing and hearing in the market. And on that, since you're hearing the demand from your customer base and you're seeing the priorities that your customers are putting on enterprise mobility, what are you guys at K2 Partnering doing today in the area of mobility to support those needs?
Well, it's a good question. We are hearing a lot of customers that are talking about mobility, and many of them have started some projects that they would put under the mobility banner, and that's really getting out reports or getting interaction to smartphones typically for their people like their salespeople or their operations people or their executives. And we're finding that these projects can start off in a very small scale by the businesses, or it can be a large, well-thought-out strategy by the IT guys. So there is no standard type of project yet in this space. So as we interact with our customers, we'll hear about needs for mobile access to a system or parts of the system or to a business group. And more and more we're starting to hear about the need for strategy. So we'll find that several parts of the large organization around the world have done something. They've given access to their systems to some of their employees, and in some cases their employees have just taken it as they've got the ability to fire up an internet browser on their iPhone or their Android phone. And a lot of companies are now trying to say, okay, that's great, they've got use of this, but how do we build a long-term strategy? How do we make our systems accessible? How do we give our people in the field the ability to interact with their data and their colleagues and their clients on a real-time basis, but how do we bring some real structure to that so we know that we're doing the right thing, not only for today, but for the coming years?
You know, Paul, I've talked to a bunch of different companies recently and some folks from IDC, the research company in Aberdeen, and they're all sharing the same thing. Confusion in the market and uncertainty in the market are two of the biggest challenges everyone is facing. So you guys offering these strategy sessions, I think, is spot on and in big demand, at least according to the analysts that I've been spending time with recently. So, you know, in some of the discussions that you and I have had over time, Paul, I hear the phrase that you guys use, social mobility. What do you guys mean when you use the term social mobility?
Social mobility for us is really two things. It's a social enterprise. So if you take a look at our company, we are a classic example of what our clients are also facing. We've got 10 offices right around the world, operating 24 hours a day supporting clients. And our clients all have projects that are spread across multiple locations. So this is a constantly moving 24-hour operation. And things like email are great tools, but they're just not that effective. So we, as a company, have decided that we need to integrate our people and get them connected with our clients and our consultants in a much more effective manner.
Okay.
And we found that our people are using tools, social tools, in some cases Facebook, Twitter, to build their connections and communicate. And as an enterprise, we need to embrace that and also figure out how to do that in a corporate setting and within our system. So we have just rolled out Chatter, the tool, across the company, and the results have just been fantastic. The interaction and the type of interaction is very different than we would typically see, and we're identifying issues and opportunities much faster because it's done in a more public forum. So social mobility for us, two things. It's the ability to socially collaborate both internally and with our clients and our external consultants, and it's the ability to do that anywhere, regardless of device. The mobility part for us is I want my teams to be able to very quickly interact with anybody in their network, whether they're sitting on an iPhone in an airport, whether they're sitting on an iPad in a customer's office, or whether they're sitting at their desk with their laptop. It shouldn't really matter.
So now Chatter is a solution from Salesforce.com, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Does it have a mobile client?
Absolutely. They've actually done a terrific job. So we use them predominantly across our organization on iPhones and iPads.
Okay.
And the best way to describe it as is your enterprise Facebook. So we can share files, we can share comments, we can do it publicly, we can do it privately in well-defined groups, and the interaction is just as you'd expect from Facebook or Twitter, except it's privately held in our corporation.
So with Chatter, do you start a Chatter group or activity based upon a sales opportunity, or how do you group things on Chatter?
Yes.
Okay.
All of the above. So we have a range of groups. Let me give you an example. We have a group that is dedicated to requirements that our customers flag with us that are absolutely red hot. The customer needs something done immediately. And any one of our internal sales team can flag that opportunity right across the company. So it could be in San Francisco, for example, 6 o'clock in the evening, a client could flag, I really need help. This is what I need on this project, and I need it on Monday. And what we can do is San Francisco can flag that, and Tokyo can pick that up. So they're just starting their day as San Francisco starts to wind down. So we've got instant visibility across the company, and any one of our teams can pick that up and run with it. You'd asked about opportunities as well. We have the ability to follow opportunities by client, by type, by category. And once you do that, anything related to that opportunity flags up in your Chatter feed, which once again is very much like your Facebook feed. So if I followed you on Facebook and you posted a photograph, it'll show up in my feed. It's exactly the same.
Interesting. Matter of fact, that whole area of social mobility and knowledge management is, to me, is just one of the most intriguing emerging areas around mobility as well.
Yeah,
so
we're seeing clients.
Yeah.
Clients are demanding that as well, Kevin. So clients are trying to bring in their social media feeds also. So you've heard of things like sentiment tracking. It's becoming more and more prevalent that customers of all types want to understand what is being said about them and how they're interacting with customers across all channels. So one thing that we've been working hard on internally is to build in those social networks. So we want to understand what's happening out there related to our company, bring it back into our corporate environment so that we can action it. So if we're doing something well, we can recognize it. If we're not doing something well and people are talking about it, we also want to see it and address it very, very swiftly. The customers
absolutely.
are looking for exactly the same things, and they want that rapid interaction with that data. They want to understand what it is and be able to apply analytics to it, and then put it in the hands of the right people inside the company to do something with it.
And they don't want to be limited by geographic area or whether or not the person is sitting in their cube in front of their desktop. They want to be able to get that all out on a mobile device so there can be instant access.
Exactly, and I think you and I have talked about this quite a bit. The business processes are changing. It used to be that you had to plan everything around where your employees would be and where they would have access. I think one of the big changes that mobility is bringing is that freedom to not have to think about where your employees are going to be at a given time, and just give them the tools to action something through whatever they have in their hand, whether it's their laptop, their smartphone, or their iPad.
Very interesting.